In 2010, Amazon looked at a small company selling diapers online and decided to lose $100 million to destroy it. Not by building something better, by selling below cost for months until the other company simply couldn't survive. Here's the uncomfortable part. It probably wasn't illegal. And as a piece of pure business strategy, it might have been brilliant. This is the case against Amazon. One charge, that it turned low prices, the thing we all love it for, into a weapon. Quick ground rules first. In our last video, we followed the money and showed how Amazon really makes it. The store's bait, the profit hides in the cloud, the ads and the fees. That video stayed neutral. This one won't. On purpose. This is a prosecution. We argue one side as hard as we can, the case against Amazon, on a single business practice. It's built to make you think, not to tell you what to conclude. And it's only half the trial. The defense, the genuine case for Amazon, gets its own video next, so hold your verdict until you've heard both. Court's in session. We all believe one simple thing about Amazon: low prices are a gift, cheaper is better. And how could a company ever be guilty of charging us too little? That instinct is exactly what this trial is about. Because a low price isn't always an offer to you. Sometimes it's a weapon aimed at everyone else, and one of the most effective business strategies ever run. It has a name: predatory pricing. Selling below cost, not to win you over, but to make competition financially impossible. Bleed the rivals out, buy the survivors, and then quietly change who pays. Amazon didn't invent it, but it may have perfected it. So let's do what a courtroom does: lay out the evidence, piece by piece. And at every step, ask the question this channel actually cares about. Not just, is it legal? But is it good business, and why does it work? Exhibit A. The clearest look we'll ever get at how this works, because it happened in the open. Around 2009, a startup called Quidsci was quietly winning. Its site, diapers.com, had cracked something genuinely hard: shipping bulky, low-margin baby products fast and cheap. It was on track for roughly $300 million a year. Amazon noticed. It sent an executive to lunch with the founders, with a simple message: sell to us, or else. The founders said no. So Amazon opened fire. It cut prices on diapers and baby products by up to 30%. Quidsci ran the math on Amazon's new prices and realized Amazon was on pace to lose about $100 million in 3 months, on diapers alone. Then it got surgical. Amazon launched Amazon Mom, deep discounts and free shipping on exactly the products Quidsci lived on. And Quidsci watched almost helpless as Amazon's software tracked its prices and undercut them automatically, in real time. Put yourself in the founder's shoes. You built something better. Your customers love it, and none of it matters, because your competitor decided your entire company was worth less to it than 1/4 of losses. You're not being outcompeted, you're being outspent. Cornered, Quidsci agreed to sell. Walmart offered more, around $650 million. And when Amazon caught wind of it, the message reportedly was blunt: pick Walmart, and we'll drop diaper prices to zero. Quidsci took Amazon's lower offer, $545 million, in 2010. 7 years later, Amazon shut diapers.com down entirely. Now, here's the part that isn't spite, it's spreadsheet. To Amazon, that $100 million in losses wasn't a fight it lost. It was the price of an acquisition, removing a future rival and buying its know-how for less than it would cost to outbuild it. Cold, rational capital allocation. None of this was new. A century earlier, Rockefeller's Standard Oil was accused of the very same move, undercutting rivals region by region until they sold or folded. That case helped build American antitrust law. Amazon just ran the play with pricing bots. A competitor isn't always something you beat. Sometimes it's something you buy, and the cheapest way to buy it is to make it worthless first. Which raises the obvious question: how do you afford to lose $100 million to win a diaper fight? Exhibit B, the war chest. And this is the real genius, hiding behind the price cut. Amazon went public in 1997. It didn't post its first full-year profit until 2003, 6 years later. And for a decade after, its profits stayed almost comically thin. By any normal standard, this was a company that couldn't make money. Except Wall Street didn't punish it. It rewarded it. While profits sat near zero, Amazon's market value climbed and climbed and climbed. Why would investors accept that? Because Bezos sold them a different scoreboard. Forget quarterly profit. Look at long-term cash flow and market share. Every dollar not booked as profit was a dollar reinvested into lower prices, faster shipping, more customers. That was a masterstroke. Not of retail, but of finance. Amazon convinced the market to bankroll years of deliberate losses, which means it walked into every price war with something almost no rival had, an investor base that cheered when it lost money. Sit with that, because it's the engine of everything. The market was effectively paying Amazon to lose money, as long as it kept growing, and that turns losing money from a weakness into a weapon. For a normal company, a loss is a wound. For Amazon, it became ammunition, a near-bottomless budget to underprice anyone for as long as it took. The tactic spread. Uber burned more than $30 billion of investors' money subsidizing rides below cost, outlasting taxis and rivals, before it ever turned a profit. Same logic, new decade. Amazon wrote the manual. The deepest moat isn't a better product. It's the ability to lose money longer than anyone else can survive, and to make your investors fund it. So here's where a normal prosecution rests. Predatory pricing is illegal, right? Exhibit C is the twist in the law itself, and it's why Amazon has never been convicted of it. In 1993, the Supreme Court set the modern test in a case called Brooke Group. To win, you must prove two things. One, the company priced below its own cost. Hard, but doable. Two, the killer, a dangerous probability of recoupment. In plain English, that after killing its rivals, the company will jack prices back up and keep them there long enough to make all those losses back. And courts are deeply skeptical anyone can. Their assumption, the moment you cash in with high prices, fresh competitors rush in and drag them right back down, so the losses can never be recouped. That's the logic baked into the law. Since 1993, predatory pricing plaintiffs have lost and lost and lost. But sit with that assumption, because this is where the law and business reality split. That safety valve, new competitors flooding in, is exactly what a moat is built to block. And Amazon spent 20 years and hundreds of billions building maybe the most efficient delivery network ever assembled. So who realistically appears tomorrow, matches that cost structure, and undercuts Amazon back down? Almost no one can. The law assumes competition will ride to the rescue. Amazon quietly built a business where the rescue never comes. See the move? The same moat that makes Amazon a great company is what makes the loophole real. The stronger your competitive advantage, the safer predatory pricing becomes. Because recoupment stops being a gamble and starts being a certainty. It's the same blindness that let Google and Meta grow untouched for years. Their products are free, and a price of zero looks like a gift, not a strategy. Low prices is an alibi. A moat doesn't just protect your profits. It quietly deletes the competition the law itself was counting on to protect everyone else. Amazon's whole defense leans on that second gate. Show us where we raise prices to recoup. You can't. Consumers only ever won. Exhibit D is the answer. And it's the sharpest point in this case. Amazon didn't need to raise the price you pay. It found a better place to collect, and from the sellers now trapped on its marketplace. If you make a product today, you almost can't afford not to be on Amazon. And Amazon knows it, so it charges them a referral fee to sell, FBA. Fulfillment by Amazon, its warehousing and shipping arm, to store and ship, and ads, just to be seen in its own search results. Walk through one sale. You buy a $25 gadget. The seller pays Amazon a referral cut, then FBA fees, then, increasingly, has to buy ads just to appear above rivals selling the identical thing. By the end, a huge slice of that $25 is Amazon's. The seller keeps a razor-thin sliver. Stack it up, and independent sellers now hand Amazon an estimated half of every sale. And here's the trapdoor. The genuinely brilliant part. Because so many sellers must advertise to be seen, Amazon built a market where its own sellers bid against each other for attention, and Amazon collects on every bid. It's no longer renting shelf space. It's auctioning it, on repeat, forever. That's the recoupment, hiding in plain sight. It never touches the shelf price, so the judge staring at your receipt sees nothing wrong. The bill just moved from your receipt to the seller's. It's the same move behind Apple's and Google's roughly 30% App Store cut, and Uber quietly raising the fee it takes from drivers once rivals were gone. When you can't see the customer being charged, look at who else is paying. Own the customer, and you can tax everyone who needs to reach them. The money is almost never where the regulator, or the shopper, is looking. Exhibit E, the most current. This isn't just history. In 2023, the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, America's competition regulator, and 17 states took Amazon to court. And their evidence sharpens the whole case. The core claim, Amazon quietly punishes sellers who offer a lower price anywhere else. List it cheaper on your own site, and Amazon can bury you in search. So sellers stop undercutting. And Amazon's price becomes the floor for the entire internet. No new price war needed. The threat does the work. And remember the defense, we never raise prices? The FTC alleges Amazon ran a secret algorithm, nicknamed Project Nessie, to test how high it could push prices. The clever part, it raised a price only when it predicted other stores would follow. And once they did, the higher price stuck across the whole market. The FTC alleges that between 2016 and 2018, Nessie pulled in over $1 billion in extra profit, and that Amazon paused it during the holidays and Prime Day, when the press and shoppers were watching most closely. That is the recoupment the law told us to look for, finally surfacing. Now, this is an allegation. Trial is set for early 2027, and Amazon denies all of it. But you can see the shape of the whole strategy in it. Amazon isn't alone. Booking.com used to forbid hotels from offering a cheaper room on their own websites. The exact same "you can't undercut us anywhere" rule. Europe banned it. Regulators have seen this move before and named it. Real pricing power isn't raising your prices. It's making sure no one else can lower theirs. So we reach the verdict, and it's a trap. Because the law asks exactly one question. Did Amazon raise the prices back up? And on the receipt in your hand, mostly. It didn't. By the letter of the law, that makes Amazon innocent. No harmed consumer. No crime. But step back and look at it as a business, not a court case. Because now every piece connects. Buy the market with losses you can afford. Wall it off with a moat no rival can cross. Then tax the captive side no one's watching. That's not 5 separate tricks. It's one machine. A machine for building pricing power the law can't see. Which is why the real question isn't about 2010 anymore. For 20 years the plan was lose, outlast, dominate. It worked. So now that the rivals are gone and the sellers are locked in, what exactly is still stopping Amazon from raising prices on all of us? Project Nessie may have been the first quiet test of the answer. And the answer looked a lot like nothing. The rivals are gone. The sellers are captive. The recoupment just moves somewhere the court doesn't look. The charge against Amazon is real. It just doesn't look like the crime the law was written to catch. So maybe none of it was illegal. But look at what winning required. A company that had to lose billions, outlast everyone who couldn't, and turn its own customers' loyalty into a toll booth. Is this the kind of capitalism we actually want to reward? Because the law only ever tells us what we're allowed to build. It never told us what we should. That's the case against Amazon in one line. It made losing money a weapon the law was never built to stop, turned its own moat into a loophole, and made you the reason it all worked. But a good jury hears both sides. And there is a serious case for Amazon, because every charge here leans on one loaded word: predatory. Those low prices were real. You genuinely won for 20 years, and maybe lose money to serve people better at a scale no one else dared isn't a crime at all. Maybe it's exactly what competition is supposed to look like. Next, the case for Amazon. The defense argued just as hard. Watch both. Then tell me in the comments, guilty or genius? You're the jury. Moat TV. where we figure out what actually lasts and what doesn't.